Breaking news out of Venezuela tonight. President Nicolas Maduro has just slammed the United States for ordering a sweeping blockade on all sanctioned Venezuelan oil tankers, calling it, in his words, a grotesque threat. This isn't just more sanctions, it's a dramatic escalation from President Donald Trump and his administration, targeting the lifeline of Venezuela's economy. Last week, the U.S. Navy seized a tanker off Venezuela's coast, part of a growing crackdown on what Washington says is illegal oil trading and drug smuggling. At the same time, the U.S. military presence in both the Pacific and the Caribbean has shot up. There's even an aircraft carrier group, the USS Gerald Ford, now stationed in the Caribbean. The message is clear. The pressure is on, and it's not letting up anytime soon. Venezuela has the world's largest proven oil reserves. And while America is the second biggest buyer of Venezuelan crude after China, here's the twist: less than 10% of Venezuela's oil actually goes to the US, the vast majority, straight to China. So what happens now that the US is threatening to impound dozens of Venezuelan oil tankers, possibly even blocking oil shipments to China? That's a question with global consequences. Maduro isn't mincing his words. He's accusing Trump of trying to colonize Venezuela, not just for oil, but for gas, gold, iron, aluminium, all the country's resources. He's vowed to defend his homeland, promising that peace, stability, and even happiness will win out for the Venezuelan people. But the diplomatic fallout is already in motion. Venezuela's filed an official complaint to the UN Security Council, arguing that the US seizure of its oil tanker was a violation of sovereignty. And with a couple dozen tankers now on Washington's sanctions list, the threat of more impoundments is very real, even if the legal details remain murky. There's another twist. President Trump just declared the Maduro regime a foreign terrorist organization, right on his Truth Social platform. Normally, that kind of move requires an extensive government review, and it carries some heavy consequences: travel bans, asset freezes, legal crackdowns. But it's unclear whether that process was actually followed this time. And let's not forget the practical side. The blockade's ambitious, but is it truly enforceable? Sure, there's a massive US naval presence in the Caribbean, but Venezuela also ships oil through the Pacific. Can the US really clamp down on every tanker everywhere? That remains to be seen. One thing's for sure. These moves are raising big questions, not just for Venezuela and the US, but for China and the global oil market too. For now, Maduro's vowing to resist, the US is digging in, and the world is watching what happens next. Don't miss the full picture. Subscribe for reliable news and smart analysis. Like and share to stay one step ahead.